Blog Talk Radio.
It is your host, media host, and producer, Sonny, live on Live on Radio's Fantastic Fridays with Jazzie, Sterling, Powell, and myself. Today is always an amazing day to be on air, and it is our fantastic Freedom Friday conversation where we kind of get into the political atmosphere across the U.S. and around the world and talk about some of our happenings and current events that's going on in Metro Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and beyond. Now, if you're listening to us live, we want to make sure you're able to connect with us. Our studio number is 347-826-7520. And if you're online and you want to listen to us directly on the Internet, we want to invite you to chat with us. We're opening up our chat window so you can talk to us right on air. And hopefully you're having a great time. You got your coffee, whatever you like to drink, and you're sitting back and you're ready to get into this conversation with us because we got a lot to talk about. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Jazzie. How you guys feeling today?
Hey, how are you? Hi, welcome to Fantastic Friday.
Good morning. Good morning, sunshine. Okay.
Even though we had a pretty tremendous Thursday.
Oh my God! Didn't we have a tremendous Thursday? I cannot wait. Like, this feels like the very first show we've ever done. I'm so geeked about today.
I am so excited about today, too, because we just had such a fantastic time yesterday. It was super terrific. And first we want to catch up on some of the other current events, and then we'll get into what our day yesterday was. So do you want to do Atlanta first, Sonny, or do you want me to do St. Petersburg?
Well, I think it is only a privilege to say that today we are broadcasting as a unit out of Tampa Bay, Florida. So Jazzie and myself and Sterling, we're in the Tampa Bay, beautiful market of Florida, and the weather here is beautiful. I think it's funny, Jazzie, we come to the South, and now Atlanta wants to get the nice weather. They had 70-degree weather yesterday.
It's insane. You remember last week, Sterling, we were like, yeah, it's snowing and icing here. And you're like, well, it's fabulous in St. Pete. And now they have great weather, and we're here. So it's wonderful.
And for those of you calling in off of the Internet, make sure that you call us at 347-876-7520.
Okay, let's try that again. 347-826-7520. 826-7520. Don't feel bad, because I used to have a phone number that was exactly like the studio line, and I would always give the last numbers of my phone number. It was crazy. But you know what? It's okay, because we can make mistakes on our own radio network. There you go.
I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you very much, for that. I am so happy.
Sterling giving out wrong numbers like girls say.
He's giving out wrong numbers. And we want to also welcome back to our platform our our special guest, fashion correspondent, is going to be with us today. Lance Gordon is on with us, and honey, he's going to give you the business.
He's going to give you the skinny on fashion while we were visiting with those candidates yesterday. But let me catch up, people, with all the actions of what you're getting to enjoy here in Tampa Bay. Not only did we have those candidates here, which we'll catch you up on yesterday, but today is the beginning of the St. Petersburg Grand Prix, the Goodyear Grand Prix here in St. Petersburg. Mm-hmm. And then, if they hear that outside, I am downtown. I'm only blocks away from the raceway, which goes through the actual street. It's one of the rare or one of the unique races in the world, like the Monaco race is like this through the actual streets of St. Petersburg. And that's going on over this weekend. Hundreds of thousands of people are in town. The Goodyear blimp is over. The Goodyear blimp is overhead, and that's going on in downtown St. Pete. Then you have
that blimp when I was a child. I used to wait till it came through. It was like the excitement. So it's back. And it has only grown, and the city just renewed the contract, and it's going to continue to be one of the premier racing events in the world. And that's what this is. This is a world-class racing event. It prids the Tampa Bay and especially St. Petersburg on the world map. Another big event that's happening is that the Strawberry Festival just opened in Plant City, and that's always fun because people don't often think of Florida as an agricultural center, but other than citrus and oranges, but we are also known for our strawberries, and this is a huge festival. The who's who, the cream of the crop of the country world is here for the next weekend and into next weekend. Also, we want to quickly remember that this is the last weekend, we will be offering our Renaissance tickets, and the Renaissance Festival continues this weekend, and next weekend is the end of March 20th is the end of the Renaissance Festival. So and
that's kind of my little catch-up.
I want to talk about the Renaissance Festival when you finish. Go ahead.
Okay, and I was going to say, and I believe that our young ladies here, Miss Jazzie and Sonny, got to go when they arrived here last weekend. And hit it, Miss Jazzie, and tell them about the turkey legs.
Oh my God! We should have had some Renaissance music. We should have had some flutes or something playing because it was absolutely incredible. We actually went with our account manager and her wife to the Renaissance Festival. November and Denise. November is our account manager, and she also helps with the switchboard. So we are super deep that she's on the Loudmouth team. So we called them up and said, okay, we've been talking about this Renaissance Festival with Sterling the Wizard for the last few weeks. And so we got the tickets. We went in and we had to cover it from a media perspective. But we also had to do what? Get a turkey leg. Yes. And so I'm actually getting ready to post pictures. So those of you that are listening, you can follow us on social media on Facebook, and you can see some of the pictures that we took. But so we walk in, and Sterling has set this up for weeks, and he has made us all drool over this turkey leg. So you already know. We went in totally looking for the turkey leg stand. But prior to getting to the turkey leg stand, y'all know I said I was going to go as a minister wench. That's right, whatever.
Oh, my God.
And so, whatever. I don't care, whatever. So I went in saying, okay, I didn't get a chance to get an outfit and do the dress up like I wanted to. But I had to find the costumes and, I had to find the people walking around. And, oh, buddy, I didn't even have to wait but like 3 walks in, and there was my favorite wench of the week. This outfit was absolutely amazing. Sonny, producer Sonny, do you remember the lady's name that had the little mouth?
Amy.
And her wench?
Amy.
And oh, gosh, she's going to kill us. I have her card somewhere. Anyway, I think one of them flew in from somewhere else to be a part of this, but they had on
Fort Myers.
Fabulous.
I remember they were from Fort Myers.
They came in from Fort Myers dressed to the nine. I have pictures, so I'll post it. They were fabulous, and one of them had a mouse in her bosom. Y'all already know I've had a mouse experience with the outreach, so we were not going to do a mouse in my bosom. That ain't my witch experience.
Oh, my God.
However, the costumes were fabulous. I'm telling you, child, the costumes were fabulous. So the
costumes were fabulous. To say some of the costumes were fabulous. I'm sorry, but
I will say that.
There was a certain amount of some of the children did not get dressed appropriately for the event.
They really didn't.
I was really tempted to hand out a couple of fashion tickets, and I would have made my way to the crowd just to do so because they truly deserve.
Well, we do have to remember it is the Renaissance Festival that we're talking about. We're not talking about the Emperor's Ball, honey.
The
Renaissance Festival. The Renaissance Festival is, honey, you've got everybody in all different directions.
Obviously, I was not seized at the Emperor's Ball, so I was really ready to try to run.
I know, right?
I will wait until it's my time to address the court.
Yes. Okay. So we walked through, and so we're trying to find the turkey leg stand. And so we're seeing all of the little shows, they have different booths and they have games, and it's just such a medieval kind of place and time, but it's so fabulous to see how people dressed and talk. And the fun part is the people who work there, they're so into character. So they're not going to even talk to you the same way that we're talking right now. So everybody's coming up talking all medieval-like. And so we're looking for the turkey leg. And lo and behold, November, and Denise finds chicken and waffle stand. I said, oh, my God, somebody help me. I'm not going to make it to the turkey. So they had this huge waffle. Everything was big then. So they found this huge waffle and chicken, but they ran out of chicken, so I wasn't supposed to be there. So we walked down further, and baby, what did we find? Say it for Miss Sterling. Say it for me. We found the turkey leg.
Turkey leg!
There we go. And the thing was humongous. Like, I really think it's a dinosaur leg. I seriously do not think it's a turkey leg. The thing is huge. The line was out of control. And so we're standing in line. So we took all sorts of pictures in front of the turkey leg stand. And then we get this turkey leg. I'm walking around like a beast, eating this turkey leg while we watch the performances and such. So it was so much fun. We had a really, really good time. And I found this T-shirt that says, I am, what did it say? I'm a queen by day, but a wench by night. I wanted to get it, but I wanted to get it, but I felt like maybe they wouldn't understand that outside the Renaissance Festival because I'm only a minister wench inside that arena. Saying. So it was really, really
oh my gosh.
For those of you that want to go,
for the rest of the house.
Oh my God.
Sorry about that, guys.
So for those of you that want to go, make sure to like all 3 pages because this is the last week we can give out 2 tickets, right, Sterling?
This is the last week that we're doing the contest because I'm not sure. If we have tickets to offer next Friday, we will offer that. But if we're able, we definitely have them as if somebody will like all of our 3 different websites that we've given. And if our producer, Sonny, will you give all three of the different Facebook pages that you've got to like all three pages to be in the running, not just loudmouthradio.com, not just Sterling Selects, and not Words.
From Words to Action Outreach Ministry.
From Words to Action Outreach. You've got to like all three. That's kind of the little challenge here, is you've got to do all three. Because I have people that are hitting mine. I have people that, Sonny and Jazzie have people that are liking both of theirs in Atlanta. But they've got to do all three to be to get the tickets. And
so we will say it again. So it's Loudmouth Radio Network, and that's Loudmouth with 2 D's. And for those of you that are listening, y'all should know that's with 2 D's. But anyway, okay. Sterling Select with an S. Sterling Select. And then From Words to Action Outreach Ministry. From Words to Action Outreach Ministry. And that's the number 2. So like all three pages, and then if you like Lance's page, he'll come on and say that I'll buy you a turkey leg. So that's a bonus. So you have to like all three to get to the Renaissance Festival. And then if you like Lance's page, I will give you a turkey leg comp, and the producer Sonny will pay for that. There we go. Yep.
I can't stand her right now. Them turkey legs.
You can't stand her right now. No, I love her.
I can't stand her right now. Them turkey legs are big and they are so good. They were smoked.
So good.
And we were looking like straight savages. We were walking down the street eating them turkey legs. I'm saying right now, Lance, they are not for the faint of heart, honey. All your family members are going to leave you.
Can I get a leg?
I'm trying to say, your fascist, Lance, you're going to lose all your fascist sense of eating that turkey leg down the street. I just want you to know.
You better wear a blouse.
You know it's going to be greasy but good, right?
Jazzie, was it not an experience? It is like an orgasm. It's an orgasm in your mouth. I'm sorry. It is an orgasm in your mouth.
It is an orgasmic turkey leg experience.
Yes. It is. Yes, it's very. I mean, I have to say, and most of the people who I hope that are listening to the shows are adults, are old enough to know better. But I love my turkey. I love my turkey legs. I look forward to them all year round.
The guy walked up to me in character, and he said, "Good day, my lady." And I said something crazy. And he said, "Are you enjoying the experience here?" And then he asked me something about, did I know something about dinosaurs or something weird. I mean, it was just like a crazy conversation. And he's in character, mind you. And then he said, "Well, I want to give you something." Gosh, I wish November was on because they'll remember how he said it. But he said something crazy. He went in his bag. He said, "As you are enjoying the turkey leg," and something about the dinosaur experience, he wanted to give me something. And he reached in his bag to pull something out. Y'all know I ran, right? Y'all already know I was gone. I was ghost. I'm like, we're not going to do this because in the outreach ministry, for many of you know that we have an outreach ministry from Word to Action Outreach Ministry. And so we're out on the streets and we have all sorts of people who are homeless, they're hungry, we give hugs. That's one of our big things. We make sure we want to touch and connect with people because oftentimes they don't get there. Well, the last time I went out, not the last time, a couple of times before I went out and asked somebody if they wanted some food, and they said yes, and then he pulled out his mouse, his pink and white and black mouse, and put it in my face, said that his mouse wanted some chicken too. So when you go in your bag now, I have an issue. So I took off the ran, and he was giving me some hand wipes to wipe my hands after the turkey leg.
You know what? It's so funny. I remember standing there, and the guy walked up to you, and I kind of moved. I didn't see him walk up on you initially when I turned around. I was, and it was cool. The guys were jousting. There were knights on the horses, and we got an opportunity to. And they had the court. You guys remember the people were sitting there, and they were supposed to be the court that was telling everyone to
screaming out to people
to be involved. Yeah. It was really, really
it's
cool.
It's an honor to slash them and kill them there.
You know, I guess this is probably similar to like medieval times. I've never been to medieval times, but I'm probably assuming that's probably close to it.
Well, it's the total environment. Instead of where at medieval times is like a dinner theater, and the Renaissance Festival is so that you can walk around, and it's supposed to be the total experience of stepping back in time. That you're able to park and step back in time. Where people get to dress. At medieval times, most people don't dress up year after year after year. But with the Renaissance Festival here, they do it in Michigan. I think they also do it somewhere out west. This travels all over the country. These performers and vendors travel as a group, almost like a circus group, all over the country, and they'll be back this time next year.
And then remember, we also said they have a Renaissance Festival in Atlanta. It's usually at what's our school or the what's the school center that looks like a castle? I just had a brain fart. Is it Oglethorpe?
Oglethorpe in Florida?
I think it's no. In
you talking about St. Augustine? I think you're talking about Oglethorpe.
Anyway,
is it Oglethorpe?
It's one of those. Nevertheless, I'll find out. But they have it there. So Sterling is correct. They do travel, but it's a lot of fun. And let me just say, for people of color, when we are so wrapped up in doing things, quote unquote, that's not for Black people, it has nothing to do with the color. I want to say that specifically because sometimes I'll tell my friends or people, just to get them excited about something different, and they get so caught up in whatever is going on in their own culture that a lot of times you don't branch out to something that's different. It's not, you don't have to do it every day, but go and see something that may not be your norm and have fun. Try something new. That's just, that's
I know,
free.
Right?
That's free. I'm going to give you that one for free next time I'm in charge. Well, but
so who's going to go to St. Patty's? Savannah, Georgia has a huge St. Patrick's Day turnout. Really, the whole week. It is
it's already started today.
Yes, usually for the whole week, Savannah is like stupid crowded. And if you've ever been in Savannah, it's a quaint city that has cobblestone roads, and you can get from one end of the city to the other in like less than 15, 20 minutes. But when I tell you, it looks like there's like 4 million people in this little area downtown. And you can, one of the good things about Savannah, there's an area called River Street. So you're able to drink, those who like to drink libations and all that good stuff, you have an opportunity to go down on River Street and drink and eat. Very festive, very very similar to Gasparilla here, right, Sterling? With Ybor City.
Yes.
You can walk around in Ybor City and have drinks and food, and it's festive. But if you've never been to Savannah during St. Patrick's Day, actually Savannah, I think, is like the second largest city that has a celebratory event outside of probably Ireland. For St. Patty's.
Really,
New York. I think New York City has a huge St. Patty's Day celebration too.
They do.
How about Savannah dyed the river?
I bet it's the south. I think it's the southeastern. I definitely.
Yeah, it's the largest in the southeast.
I think you're comfortable with that. And you know what these things do, like Jazzie, I'm so glad, especially with where we're going to go in and probably spend the most of the remainder of the show on politics and yesterday. But this goes back into, and this will kind of be the lead-in. What you were saying is that we have to get out and do these events that show us the diversity and the strength of our community. That's how we learn. That's how we learn about each other, is by these festivals that are that are going on that like this. If you go to the Asian festival or the Irish festival, the Renaissance festival, all of these things are how we learn. So
exactly. I totally agree with you on that one. But you know what? It's so funny because we're so, first of all, as media, we have to go to places sometimes that we don't even want to go to. And we end up learning so much from coverage that sometimes I think, gosh, if I hadn't been in this position, would I go? But at the same time, it gives me an opportunity. As a person, I'm just more open. We were involved in things when I was younger. My aunts and my mom would my mother took us to all religious stuff. But my aunt and things put us in positions where we really, really had a good time in learning things. So it just made for a nice position. It made for a nice position for us to do that. So, yeah, we had a good time.
I mean, this is how we learn. I mean, if we don't get to experience the different cultures, I mean, it's part of where I am so lucky that I do, the Gasparilla Festival here in Tampa Bay, and it's such a tremendous thing. People that get to go and experience Mardi Gras in New Orleans, or they do something like you said, either in New York or around the country, and they get to do the Irish Day celebrations. This is how you learn. How you learn about our cultures and about how we became such a wonderful country.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You're right. I totally agree. And I definitely think that when we start talking politics, you'll see how the reason why people are afraid in political arena or racism or discriminatory practices is because they do not learn at all other cultures. They just don't. And that's one huge reason. I know we're going to go
Lance is in Miami. Let's talk about this. When you're in cities where there's a very good diverse population of people, Lance, you're still on with us, right?
Hey, divas.
Oh my God, you ate that phone so fast. I was like, hello. living in an area, yes, living in an area like Miami is a difference. It's clearly a difference, I think, of environment than Tampa Bay, which is in the same state. Miami to me is similar to like New York or Atlanta or Chicago, where there's a large population of people, and you have a lot of different cultures that are intertwined. So for you,
it's like a good gumbo. I mean, you can't have you got to put a whole bunch of mess in the pot in order to make it good, Mama.
I'm sorry, Lance. Say that last part again.
Can you guys hear me good? I mean, I know I turn up my mic as much as I can. I said living in Miami is like a good pot of gumbo. You got to put a whole bunch of mess in the pot in order for it to be good. It's not. You got Haitian, you got Puerto Rican, you got Brazilian, you got Colombian, you got American, you got you got all kinds of folks mixed up and down here and there. It's a very strong Latin culture, Latin influence. So that's really the major spice. But you got everybody mixed in there. You got Europeans. I mean, because you got South Beach, Miami. That's very strong European influence.
Exactly. Miami is a hodgepodge.
And then
it's like a major city. Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm. And then with the retirees, you have such a mix of everything from, especially the North, the retired Italians, the retired Irish, the retired Jewish community. So you have Miami is just such a diverse community.
Mm-hmm. I love it there. I love it.
And add on to that, folks, a lot of money running around down here. So you got spice and then you got extra nice.
Yes,
absolutely. Let's go to a quick commercial break. I want to make sure that our listeners, we got a nice little amount of listeners that's online with us right now. If you'd like to talk to us, just hit the one key on your keypad. And for those who are listening online, if you'd like to be a part of the conversation, dial in 347-826-7520. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back on Loudmouth Radio. You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Insurance Associates Atlanta, formerly Mathis Insurance Services, is an independent agency offering personal, commercial, life, and health insurance products to meet the needs of your business and your family. We specialize in helping you protect all of your assets, whether you're purchasing insurance for the first time or searching for better products at a better price. Feel free to contact us at 770-483-0310. We're conveniently located at 1030 Remington Drive in Conyers, Georgia. Visit us online at insurance-iaa.com.
All right, so we're back on loudmouthradio.com, and it's Fantastic Friday with Jazzie Sterling and myself, Sonny, and we're live on air. And we're having our Freedom Friday conversation as we're getting ready to go into our political atmosphere. There's been a lot of conversation, a lot of movement going on around the world. And yesterday, it was Florida's turn to have some guests in the city of Tampa Bay area with the early voting going on. So yesterday we had an opportunity as a network. Yeah, we had opportunity as a network to step into Hillary Clinton as well as Bernie Sanders rallies that were right here in Tampa. And go ahead, Sterling. I was going to say, I know we had an opportunity to really hear and see some dynamic things going on.
Well, the reason they were both here is that to end with the early voting, you said, but also is that this coming Tuesday is the day to vote here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's Super Tuesday. It's Super Tuesday, yes.
And they're getting ready to make some changes.
Next in line. And so everybody, both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party has had a new debates. Bernie and Hillary showed up in Tampa right off of their debate on the Latin network. And then yesterday, while we were attending the different rallies here, the Republicans were on air with their latest debate and circus show there. But what did you guys think? What did you? I was quite impressed.
This is Sonny. I was going to say this is Sonny. For me, I think I saw two different climates. One with Hillary Clinton. She did her rally mid part of the day. You know, we were out as early as 8:30 yesterday morning in line. Amongst other people that were waiting to get into the Ritz in Ybor, which is like an event facility that has it's like a club, has an upper level on the inside, but a big open ballroom. So it had to be at least 1,500, maybe 2,000 people. It seemed like standing room only. We were shoulder to shoulder, and then there was a spillover room, which held like another 350 people. So you have to look at hold on. You have to look at the two different standards of approach. Like Hillary Clinton, if you notice, she attracted a lot of conservative business, probably corporate realm, people who are clearly loyal supporters of Hillary, because we're talking about from as early as 7, 8 in the morning all the way up until 1 or 2 in the afternoon, which means that people elected not to go to school, not to go to work, and they were in attendance for her. And then you had Bernie, who was at the Florida Fairgrounds that could capacitate tens of thousands of people. And indeed, he attracted at least 10 to 12,000 people in the expo hall at the Florida Fairgrounds. And I saw a lot of young millennial college students, who I would say a lot of my radical-minded people. You saw a lot of people holding a lot of signs with a lot of messages. I think there was a clear, like with Hillary, I saw a lot of her branded sign materials. Some people had some playful things, like Sterling, you saw a young lady holding a Hillary mask. A couple of people had these balloons. They made the letter H, and they also had like a little balloon of her. But at Bernie's place, you actually saw a lot of young, like this one guy, almost everybody in the press interviewed him. We had a chance to talk to him. His name was Spencer, 20-year-old college student at Eckerd College. He had a sign that said, "Burn my loans." And you saw a lot of people with Bernie shirts on, and all the different Feel the Burn, and you saw a lot of enthusiasm in his crowd that it kind of looked like we were at a pep rally, you know what I mean? Versus Hillary's group seemed more focused, and we did stand a long time. We waited 4 hours. Because we were there early, we waited 4 hours for her to take the stage versus at the fairgrounds, because of the size, even though there was a large turnout, people flooded in. And by the time he did take the stage at about 6:45 or around 7 o'clock, it felt like I was at a high school or a college pep rally. So that's my take on it.
Can I say something, Sonny, about just the last part? I mean, I'll come back in and say some different things, but what we have to remember is that the young lady, when we went through, because we went through media entrance, both places, although we waited in the line to interview people at Hillary at the regular line. So we got a chance to stand out with everybody and talk during Hillary. And so then we went into the media side once we got up to the front. But at Bernie's, we did not go early. We didn't go early at Bernie. We went, an hour before. So the lady said there that people she got in at 12 o'clock as a volunteer, and it was people standing in line prior to her clocking in. So, no, people waited because they wanted to be right up front. And his thing did not start until 6. So people were waiting prior to 12 to come in. Yeah, so we just didn't stand in the line long at Bernie. So, but I'll wait to give my feel on what I thought, because I have so much to say. So I'll let someone else go ahead.
Well, what I wanted to say is that I think you're spot on, Sonny, with the observation of both crowds. Is that's one of the things that I found was very interesting, that with Hillary, it was definitely the establishment part of the Democratic network here in the Tampa Bay area. You had everything from 90-year-old plus Pat Frank showing up. You had Kevin Beckner. You had a lot of donors that I recognized in the crowd. I won't call them out individually, but it was definitely all the way to the Tampa mayor. Introduced her to the stage, Bob Buckhorn, and it was and then, like you said, it was an older, but I was impressed that there was a lot of youth in Hillary's crowd also. Either they are really working to do that, they're reaching out to try to do that because they know that the Bern has that, that Bernie Sanders is drawing that on his own, and so they made sure to have these people bring their children, and you had a lot of young people in the crowd. But there was definitely the old party figures from the local area here were out to support Hillary. I did not see that at Bernie. I did not see that. It was definitely that was a big part of it. Now, I do want to say that I thought it was interesting for Hillary to also be in the Ritz Theater in Ybor City is, for our listeners that don't live here, is not a very large venue. So like you said, Sonny, it might have been 2,000 people at the most. I would say more like 1,200, only because I think that's the capacity of the Ritz. It may have been 1,200, 1,500. So it was a very intimate affair. I mean,
absolutely.
You and I know the four of us, because Lance Gordon, our fashion consultant, was with us here, and we could reach out basically and almost touch her. I mean, it was very intimate, and I think she's doing that so that that she touches and communicates with the public on a very intimate level, and it came off that way. She definitely came off that way. Where when Bernie's talking to an auditorium, it's the enthusiasm and the energy that I think he has. He definitely has a movement going on where where the Republican candidate talks about his large crowds. Bernie is definitely, the press is not talking about it like they do for Trump, and Trump himself is talking about it. But Bernie has the same energy. They definitely are drawing the energy of crowds, and that is on just the size and the way of what Sonny was talking about.
Yes, and we have a caller. We want to welcome you onto Loudmouth Radio. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Okay, no problem. This caller wanted to speak.
Caller,
Hi,
are you
caller.
there?
Oh, it's Linda. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were talking to me.
Hi, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hey. Hi, girls. Sorry I wasn't with you yesterday, but I followed you along. Sterling sent me a picture of Hillary, and I was in touch, but
Good.
working.
We felt you.
I was one of the people opted to work yesterday.
But somebody has to do that. We were working.
Yeah, no,
somebody
indeed.
else has to do different work.
But I was interested. I thought Sonny's perspective was interesting on the two audiences. I wonder what your observation of the diversity was in each audience.
Okay,
well,
so let me
Hillary,
say something about that. Was going to be my
ahead.
speech.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That was something that I paid attention to hugely yesterday because, one, I love diversity, period. But it was so interesting to see Hillary's crowd. I said, and I even posted, that from a strategic, because I do event planning as well, so from a strategical planning perspective, when I say somebody got out and totally canvassed for the Latino presence, it was huge yesterday at Hillary's function. It was absolutely huge. So I thought they played so much Latino music, like they had a live band and then they had some regular music, and it was so Latino inspired. I said, okay, they are fighting for this Latino vote here in Florida. Then you saw a lot of the people who, well, let me just say this, Linda. One, we talked about how small Hillary's rallies have been. One, from my observation, I don't think she has to prove who she is. We know Hillary Clinton. We know her as the First Lady. We know her as Secretary of State. We know that she's been politically involved. We know her as an attorney. So we know the name. We know her branded name. We know who Hillary is.
She's the inevitability. She's the inevitable prospect. So people stay home because she's gonna win anyway. Is the attitude.
But I know her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go. When she and President Obama were running, I had to go find out who she was. I already knew who Hillary was, even though I wanted to hear her thoughts as being a president. I knew who she was. So now she has even more under her belt. So when you have an audience, and I found that the capacity at the Ritz-Ebor, the standing room, unless they, which I think they did, the standing room for individuals in that place, 292 people standing, okay? Then we had an overflow, but it looked like way over 300, so we're not going to tell on them, but anyway. But the intimacy of that place and the places that she's been going where people have been able to walk up to her and talk to her and hug her and take pictures. My cousin all the way in North Carolina, when she left Florida, got a picture with Hillary Clinton, and here we are media. But anyway, whatever. So the thing that I find is if I already know Hillary, right, and I come to see her, it's for it's one or two purposes I find. I want the historical moment to be recorded, and I love her, right?
Right.
or I really am going to vote for her because she had a rally at 11. We were there at 12 o'clock. People are not taking off of their jobs to go and hear, maybe I kind of want to vote for her. These are solid people who are coming to say, I'm voting for Hillary because I took off work to come to see Hillary. Bernie Sanders had a rally in the evening when everybody is getting off. Do you see the two dynamics? If I have something midday, most of the people are not going to take off work to go do that. If I have something at night, everybody is going to come. So the strategic planning is, if I really want to see this woman, I'm really interested in her. If I'm a new voter, if I'm, so it's a couple of different things. So I think she had a perfect plan. It was, even though it was still a pep rally, I told somebody today, Hillary makes me proud. I feel proud. I feel like the resilience that she has is amazing, and so I want to be around her for that. Right. When I went to Bernie Sanders, like Sonny said, I was motivated as if I was at a pep rally, like I was emotionally moved. Whereas when I'm with Hillary, I'm strategically sound. I'm strategically focused on what is going on. At Bernie Sanders, I'm emotionally moved. Does that make sense? That's the difference that I saw.
Well, I think it makes sense from an emotional standpoint.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But from a political standpoint, in a revolution, you want the rah-rah crowd. And I think, in my political opinion, that if she anticipated a crowd of 10,000, believe me, she would have accommodated it. Her campaign didn't anticipate it, and her positioning as a political leader, like you said, is more establishment, and she's not attracting revolutionary 60s, which I experienced, type revolutionary anti-establishment kind of theme. And it's exactly what happened in the 60s when I was growing up. I mean, I'm an old Woodstocker, so my perspective is more on the revolutionary side of things, because that's how change happens. And that's been my experience of how change occurred in my own life. So I am more prone to the energy of Bernie Sanders' campaign.
Right.
And you know what?
I respect the woman. I respect her tremendously, and I know what she had to go through being a woman and a woman in business with your own prejudices that are thrown at you to overcome. So for her, it's been a big climb, and she has my respect. She doesn't have my vote, however.
Sonny, before you bring them on, let me just tell you this really, really quick. Caller, give me 1 second. It says yesterday that even though Sanders had the bigger crowd, that Hillary Clinton still led by a margin of 2-1, 62% to 30%.
Yes, well, I'm in marketing, so
hold on
that's
one
same
second,
thing
guys. Hold on one quick second, because we've had somebody that's been patiently waiting. I brought them in and queued them in. We have a caller. Welcome. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Marcus. This is Marcus. This is Sterling's friend. This is the guy, the poet.
Yeah.
Hi,
Marcus.
Hi. How are y'all doing?
Spitfire Marcus. How are you?
Good.
Great.
I'm good.
Hey,
I've been listening. Hey,
hi,
Sterling.
Marcus.
Hey,
it's Linda.
Sonny and Linda, how you doing? Okay.
Hey, big kiss. I'm good.
I've been listening in. Sonny or Jazz, did y'all either one of y'all go to the Bernie Sanders rally yesterday?
Yes, we were.
Yes, we did.
That's what we're talking about. That we attended. Loudmouth Radio attended both rallies, Marcus, so that we were able to we wanted to be able today to talk a direct comparison, since we were lucky enough, Tampa Bay yesterday, like we are discussing, was lucky enough to have both of the candidates for the Democrats here. And it was, like we are talking, it was a very interesting experience. I agree with Linda and Jazzie in the sense that, politically she, because of her being established, like I said, that the old is that she knew if they thought she needed to draw 10,000 people, Hillary's people would have definitely had the stadium. I think also she is just, it's a pure part, like what Linda's saying. She's doing the people she needs to see. It accommodates for her to see 1,000 people that are the political part. It was the party people. When she comes back for the primary, when she comes back as the nomination, if she doesn't, if Bernie doesn't pull it from her, is that she will start holding the larger venues. Right. This is almost where we were not able to give her $2,500, $5,000, $25,000. This was for, if you noticed yesterday, girls, when they asked the crowd how many had already voted, I would say 80% of the people there had already voted. Yeah.
Did you guys see the performer who sang "America" at the end of Bernie Sanders' rally?
No.
We jetted out of there.
Oh, y'all jetted.
Now, did she have on a green shirt? Was she the same person that sung the anthem?
Same.
Because she was wonderful.
Yeah,
all
with the big puffy hair.
Yes.
Yeah. That was my friend.
Voice.
Yeah, that was my friend.
Who wanted to?
Yeah. Her name is Mariana Jasmine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I want her to come on the radio and sing. God, she was incredible.
All right, I can get her on. I was with her last night. We was hanging out celebrating that victory for her. I said, that was huge what you did.
It was so huge.
Yes, it was.
She was amazing.
Yeah. And guys,
she's amazing.
Guys, check this out. Now, as it stands right now, let me tell you where our poll averages are. For delegates with Clinton in Florida, she is at 1,223. Sanders is at 574.
Wow.
And for the Republican Party, Trump is at 459, Cruz is at 360, and Rubio is at 152.
So Hillary's going to take Florida?
Is that what the superdelegates on Clinton?
Mm-hmm.
That's including her superdelegates, right?
Yes. So she's got like a 63% rise, and Sanders is at like 29% right now. In Illinois, Clinton is at 59, Sanders is at 28. In North Carolina, Clinton is at 53, Sanders is at 33%. Ohio, Clinton is 57%, Sanders is at 37%. And at a national level, Clinton is 51 over Sanders, 39.6. So with the Republican Party, Trump is at, Trump is at 31% in Illinois, Cruz is at 19%, and Kasich is at 16%. He's popping back up there in Illinois. Now, North Carolina, Trump is at 32.5, Cruz is at 22.8, and Rubio is at 14.3. And then Ohio, we're looking at Trump at it's really, really close in Ohio. Trump is at 36.5, Kasich is 34.0, and Cruz is 16.3. So nationally, Trump is at 36, Cruz is at 21%, and Rubio is at 18. So Cruz and Trump are still very close.
Yeah, you know what? I wanted to give a few key things that each one of the candidates said here in Tampa that concern Tampa, and then we definitely got to bring Lance on to tell us about the fashion or the unfashion at the rally. So let me just tell you.
Lord help us.
Lord have mercy. So let me say this because I think this is important, especially for Tampa, hearing these candidates talk about the area. Clinton totally went in and blasted the governor. Hillary Clinton blasted the governor of Tampa, and Orlando, and was saying that it's ridiculous that it is not more emphasis being put on or turning down billions of federal funds to develop a high-speed rail between Tampa and Orlando, which I totally agree. We say the same thing in Georgia. Don't knock the opportunity for us to succeed because of whatever bias that you have as an individual. Your state needs transportation that puts us in a level. Tampa, St. Pete, Orlando, this little hub is a mecca magnet for tourists. And when you have people flying in that can't easily get from one place to another, that they're coming from all over the world, not just the United States. And when you go to Europe and other places that have high-speed rail, they're looking for comparables when they come to the U.S. And half of the places that are big touristy areas don't have that type of transportation. So she really blasted the governor and said it makes absolutely no sense, especially when we know that we're going to have to do high-speed rail if we're going to have a competitive economy. So I thought that was one of her big things. The other one, they both kind of targeted the same thing, but she definitely mocked the Scott administration, directed to the state employees when she said, talking about climate change, she said, if you don't know what scientists do, ask a scientist. Go talk to them. Talk to a scientist if you can't figure out what climate change is or what it's about. It's real simple to go find out or hire people to do that because we need to be able to produce energy. Her statement was the state of Florida has an extraordinary this was Sanders, I'm sorry. Sanders came in saying the same thing. He said the state of Florida has an extraordinary natural resource. It's called sunlight. Everybody laughed, of course. And then he said, and this state should be the leader in world producing solar energy. Now, for me, that was huge because we, again, in America, if only a few states like Colorado is huge. It's one of the leading states in producing solar energy. It's one of the cleanest states. It's also one of the states that's not in debt. Why? Because they are following principles that other countries have already gotten a wind of many, many years ago. So both of the candidates talked about transportation. They both talked about producing solar energy and clean energy, climate control. Sanders also said that we needed to address family values, of course, but that you should not. Both of the candidates said a woman has the right to decide what she wants to do with her own body. You do not get government involved with a woman's choice and decision. Now, as we were out in the audience and we interviewed, I was so happy to know we had two males. One, I think he was from, where did he say he was from? Not India. He was from, I forgot. Anyway, we'll remember. I'm so bad these days. I need to take some ginkgo biloba or something. But nevertheless, he was from somewhere else, a male, and supporting a woman's right to choose. And then we had a young man who probably at some point in his life will be running for some office. And Sonny has those names. We'll get the names because I did want to give them shouts out because they were wonderful to do interviews. But they were talking about a woman's right to choose. And I made the statement to say I don't believe in abortion. That's just my own personal belief. But I do believe in a woman's right to choose. I don't believe in abortion, but I'm not dogging a person that chooses to abort because it is her decision to do that. And while we were out there interviewing people on that issue, a lady came out with this huge sign. We posted it on our website that showed a child being aborted. And, of course, she went in from the Christian perspective. And then she went in to say that the man said, well, I think that Christians shouldn't judge other people. What about that scripture? What about it? She said, well, Christians do have a right to judge other people. We're supposed to judge other people just that. Okay. And stage left. So those were some of the things that we dealt with when we were out. But definitely I wanted to talk about, the two candidates talking about Tampa specifically, because I think Tampa and the St. Pete area, I think it's important for you to know what candidates at least say about your area. How much have they invested time in learning about the area? Because some of these people who have ran before, honey, have messed up so royally. But you come into my state to tell me I need to get your vote. So that was my take on it from a correspondent. This has been Jazzie Jones-Smith talking to you live on Loudmouth Radio. And now, Lance.
You crazy. Well, Lance, so what was your take on the fashion?
By the way, yesterday, his fashion was incredible.
Well, I don't know if it was incredible. I wouldn't go that far.
Yes, it was.
First of all, I think it was incredibly in poor taste, and and I'm not one to dog people, but folks, I wasn't requiring or looking for your Sunday best or let's get casket sharp, funeral casket sharp, but I was looking for just a little bit more than I was served. If I had been at a restaurant, I went away hungry because there was not enough food on my plate. So it was more lack of fashion than fashion. But I will tell you this much. The most notable person in the room was the person that was supposed to be the most notable. The most notable dress award goes to Hillary Clinton. There you go.
And
she came out and she served something very nice. A long coat that absolutely was very figure flattering. And you know what? I think this outfit yesterday was even a little bit more relaxed than what I've traditionally seen her in. She still looked presidential, but she had more of an approachable feel to it. Wouldn't you think so, Jazzie?
I think so. It was very elegant, and it was soft. Because sometimes I think her pantsuits can be very, let's go to the boardroom. And really, right? She was very approachable and very elegant.
She looked so tiny.
You could have a cup of water with her at the water cooler yesterday. Yeah, which I think was her point.
Not at the water cooler. Meet me at the bubbler, girl.
Meet me with some Voss water at the water cooler, darling.
She was on her way to the boardroom, but you could approach her at the water cooler.
Yes. And I think that's what she's going for right now. I think Hillary is definitely going for approachability in all of the things that I've seen her in lately. She really has given a good approach. But yesterday she looked radiant, I thought she looked. She did.
In reality,
every time she runs,
I have to mention this, guys or girls. In reality, fashion is a reflection of the time. And so I believe in keeping with the times. In reality, we really should be a little bit more, because technology has brought us very close, but it has also made us a little cold toward one another. So in reality, everybody is going more anti-establishment. So I think that if she really wants to appeal to the demographic that will get her elected, I think she needs to ditch the code. I think she needs to be and I told one of the attendees at the Hillary Clinton rally yesterday, and I want y'all to comment on this. I don't know. Maybe if she ditched the code and became more mom, because here's the deal. We all know that for the longest time, the office of the president was associated with what? The old great father, father figure type position. Now that we have a woman that we really, really think has a really strong chance of winning, maybe, the father normally is associated with, he's taking care of the household, but we all know who runs the household. What? Girls, who runs the world? Okay. So maybe she needs to be mom, because moms really take care of the household. So if she steps up to the plate, and instead of being more boardroom, less boardroom, more mom, I'm not saying she's got to don the sweater set. Please, girl, let's not have a crossover from the Republican Party. But if she was more casual, I think that she would broaden her appeal instead of always wanting to have that staunch image of her appearing presidential. Because that's how I'm giving it. The way I was served, I'm giving it from that perspective. The fashion from this event was, everybody else was informal for 99.9999999. Informal. Lord have mercy. Let's talk about a certain woman in a Oh Lord, what can we call this wrinkled mess that was standing on stage on national TV? And I don't blame her. I blame her, the parent, whoever she was. It just was not pleasant. Yeah, but this is a family show, so if you want to tune into cable after midnight, then we give you the real scoop. But it was not pleasant.
No,
but back
and
to
you know what?
What do you think about her look?
But you know what? No, let's go back to that. We're not going to skip over. We're going to talk about that baby that was up front in front of national.
Oh, you got to do it. You can go there.
I'm going. Listen, let me tell you why I'm going to go there, because we're not talking about the child. There were a lot of children there, young kids as well as teenagers, and it was one of those things where they had all of the, they call people up on the stage because they're the pep rally, they're the cheerleaders. They get you all excited, they get you ready for the rally, and before the candidates come on. And so they had the children up front representing their culture, their families. They had people representing, schools and jobs and all of this kind of stuff. So in saying representation, I recognize, and Lance and I both were saying this, okay? It is Florida. It is hot. You want to dress down as far as being cool and, not passing out because you're overlayered. However, if you are taking the stage from a baby up to an elder,
look, Jazzie, you still could have. They could have served a lawn party cuteness. Okay, you ever been to a lawn party? Okay, you outside, it's hot. Okay, you could have served lawn party cuteness, and everyone would have been appropriately dressed. The heat would have been there, but watch this. You
still look because my thing is this: if we're in the audience, we have, we're kind of caught in the crowd. I'm not saying totally look like a bum, but okay, if you want to dress it all the way down, no problem. But when you're on the front, so here's what we are saying. We're not blaming the children because children have parents. And if they don't have parents, they have a guardian. And if they don't have a guardian, somebody on the staff should have said, sweetheart, let me just give you a little scarf. Let me make you a wrap from Africa. Because when you have on a romper that rides up in your crop,
not a romper.
You're on the front row, a romper, baby.
That's not it.
Lance, am I lying? Lance, fashion coordinator, designer. Didn't she have on a little romper?
She had a little romper on, and
she had on a little romper, a little connector. It was a little shirt.
A fromper romper. It was a
little fromper.
And it was the same because she was such a cute girl. But I was like,
she was beautiful.
If my child appeared on CNN looking like that, I would just go cry.
Lance had to turn away. Lance had to, after a while, he had to say, I could no longer look.
I was photographed with pursed lips. I just could not hide my disappointment. I was looking, and I had to take a sip because I was like, my throat was parsley. My appetite for fashion was certainly not satisfied. But you know what? I can't have expecting because I know how Floridians dress, and it's not just up here. It's all throughout Florida. But people have, as a whole, have gone down, in their dress code. It's not the 40s, 50s, and 60s where, even in the Midwest, you don't step out looking like a hot mess.
Okay, what happened to the days used to have a little bit of more charisma? I mean, really.
Just a little bit about yourself. Because you know what, back then, you didn't just represent you. I think people have more respect of their family name. If I went out dressed a certain way or acted a certain way, and Linda's on here, and she, Linda, you can say, the truth or not. You represented your family. Like when she was on last week, Linda said when we went to the bank,
right?
Not to the rally. When I went to the bank, it was a big deal, right?
It was a sign of respect.
Yes.
Self-respect, but also, and to communicate respect to the institution.
Exactly. So I would have never shown up as a child. My mother would never have allowed me. out of the house that way. So we blame it on the mom because this young lady, one, we were proud that she was there. Two, we were ecstatic that she was brave enough to stand in front. So we give you all of those kudos. But, Mom, you should never have allowed, one, that child to be disgraced, dressed so inappropriately, and then, two, to be representing your family. So whoever you are, guardian, parent, whoever you are that's in charge of her, you were wrong. Now let's go to little girl number 2 and little boy number 2. You remember the little he was a little white boy. He was a sweetheart, honey. He was dressed to kill. Had on his little black pants, his little tie, and he was dancing. He gave it what? He was dressed so beautifully. And just a joy to watch. Like, he was my fave. And then walks in about maybe 30 minutes later, this young lady, absolutely stunning. We give kudos to all her mama, parents, grandparents from all over the place. She had on a beautiful white, maybe an eyelet dress. It was length appropriate. Her hair was up in a little bun. She sat she had on little baby doll shoes, and then she had to sit in the front, nude to cross her legs, baby, so nothing would be exposed.
Yes, she knows exactly what to do.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask Lance his opinion on Clinton's wardrobe in terms of, she wears a lot of pantsuits, we all know. So do I, honestly, and it hides a lot of sin. But it's so funny. I was thinking of her, envisioning her coming out with a maybe long-style dress. Now, I have an opinion she might have a heavy bottom, legs or whatever, because I've never seen her in a dress in all the years I've known her publicly. Never. I can't remember ever or a long skirt with a long jacket, or a feminine touch. You know what I'm saying? Now,
and maybe that is the issue why a lot of women think she's unapproachable to a certain degree. I bet that. Right.
Yes,
but hell,
you've been married to Bill Clinton.
She always projects.
Right. Yes, it's one of those things. You got to realize she's been a first lady. She's been a secretary of state. She's in a very male-dominant, position. Right. And they're always constantly attacking her based upon, and this is what I said to Jazzie yesterday, from my perspective and my own personal route, I look at all of these candidates, and this term has been a very difficult election to really take anybody in fullness and just say confidently yes on all aspects for me. But then when I draw back and I start looking at the dimensions of everybody, Hillary Clinton has the most experience, of running and representing this country, dealing with heavy issues. They're talking about the emails, and they blew that thing out of proportion so much. And I'm like, do you even realize how much happens in this country and that politically people are doing that we would never know? That the catastrophic, stuff that takes place.
There's I think it's generational, and I speak because I'm probably similar in age. But when I was growing up in the business world and I did international business, I remember when we first started out, I would be in pictures and I'd be the only woman in some pictures because it was male-dominated. But we also dressed accordingly. We dressed in suits, if you recall. We duplicated men's suits women wore. And we even went as far as ties and shirts in offices to have that power look because we were reflecting a man's point of view in that setting, or wanted to, in order to get our power.
To be respected.
It was to give us more power because we had no power in the business world at that time, in my day. And I believe that's true of Clinton also, but there's plenty of powerful women who wear dresses. And Michelle Obama, Nancy Reagan. I mean, you can go on and down the line of elegance.
I think she just likes them so.
Yeah, I think
she just really dislikes dresses. And I think at some point, and I can look it up, but I think She made a statement years ago when this was a conversation about why she only wore pants. And I can't remember, I'll look for it and see what she said again about women, but she just dislikes them. But I think that because in America we do associate femininity with a dress, and that's a society thing. If you're in a dress, you're okay, but powerful women of India have never worn dresses. They always wear, not always, but they predominantly wear the little pants, and I forgot what the outfit is called, and then they wear the long shirt. So some have dress, some right.
And don't forget that women were. Remember, when you go back to watch something like, I always refer to TV because people then remember, can have something in today's society. Look at Mad Men. When you look at the girls in the office there, that they were still sex objects because of the way, if they did not dress in a very business manner, immediately they were still became an object of sexuality. And this is a part of the sexism in America. So I think what Hillary is making sure does not happen here, and she's been criticized for this. I think part of it is body image. I think all of this is part of it, but she has been attacked so many times about her sex. And she's trying to make sure she's trying not to have it as an issue, because I don't think she really brings up the fact that it is brought up by the media that she would be the first woman president, but she doesn't bring it up it's kind of like to her, and if you remember last night, it was her ending statement. Was the last thing that not only would every boy and girl know that they could be president of this United States, and that was basically one of her few references to the fact that she would be the first woman president. So I think it's all based on, I think it all goes back to what I told you. If Trump was being honest with his slogan about making America great again, it wouldn't be about making America great. It would be about making America white male again, because they're afraid of the women. What all of this is showing is how frightened white males are of the fact that when they want to raise the rate of pay here, and they want women to have the same equal pay, and that, I think, is one of the biggest issues in this election. I don't think
did he say that?
I think it is about white males are shaking in their little boots, like I said, and when they attacked Donald Trump for his little hand, I think it hit a chord with every white male in this country.
Preach, brother, preach.
I totally agree.
Because that's the issue. These white males, the white male in this country is so afraid that he's losing the power to the workforce, which is mostly women. And then you take over the fact that it's mostly, then you bring African American, Latinos, Asians, Jews, queers, for God's sakes, what's going on in this country? What's going on in this country? That's what the fear is. That's what the fear is. The white male is now knowing what it feels like to be an African American man.
Yes, and it's the browning of America by 2050. They're all scared of. And let me say this, the immigration and all the argument about immigrants is all about voting, because most immigrants are Democrats. And you know who's shouting the loudest? The white guys in the Republican Party. So that's just the truth. That's just the way it is. And so the browning of America is scary.
Oh, guys.
I mean, and Linda.
Do we have any other callers on the line? Because I would love to hear.
That's what I wanted to say.
Well, and I hope that our Linda will say.
Wait. Okay. So hold on 1 second. If we have any callers, because we get heated when we start talking about real good deep politics. So if you want to call in, please, if you're there with somebody or you're coming online, the number to call in is 347-826-7520. And if you want to speak or you want to tell us something, you want to hear something, or so forth and so on, press the number 1 if you actually want to be included in on the conversation. Otherwise, just hang on and listen to this great conversation and how it went from Lance Gordon's fashion to how the white man wants to rule the world. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. November. I was going to say, guys, November and I
can I say
are in
something?
the back part of the. Yeah. Can you hear
can
me,
I
Sterling?
say? Can I
coming
finish?
After the fact. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I finish something? Because I want to bring Linda back into this. Because while we're on white males, Linda had to. I didn't even see it because I don't pay attention. I've been in the public eye so long. Linda had to come, and people from my church and everything had to come to my defense this week. I guess if you want to call it defense, I don't really give a rat's ass. I really don't give a rat's ass about it. But I was attacked by another white male because I just posted the fact that Hillary was coming to town. Just the fact that I wanted to show she's coming to town. They're going to attack me. My friends had to even let me know it was going on Facebook, and you cannot believe the stream of trash that this man threw at me. And Linda and some of my friends.
What did he say, Sterling?
Well, I don't even want to repeat it. I don't even want to repeat it.
It was absolute. It doesn't even.
Listen, you hear what Linda said? It was Val.
Yeah.
Because now because Trump does it, they believe they can do it at in any form. Because the media, the mainstream media, is allowing him and the people in this country, when they go to his rally, to beat up, jab, kick, and abuse the people that are coming to express their American freedom of speech, then everybody thinks that you can't use your American speech.
Yeah.
And anybody, it is so shameful that people think that this is okay, because it isn't. It isn't okay. Well, guess what? On loudmouth radio, we can throw it right back at you.
Like a frisbee. Like a frisbee.
I don't know if they want to catch that frisbee, baby, because that boomerang gonna hurt.
So here's what we want. I wanted to put out a challenge to Lance here, and have Lance design a dress for Hillary Clinton and send it to her.
Oh my God!
Hey guys, we got a caller that wants to say something.
You know, if Hillary,
go ahead.
Come on, bring that caller.
Go ahead,
Sonny.
We got a caller. Tell us who you are.
It's Marcus. I was listening. I've been listening the whole time. I just was, it's a good conversation. I just wanted to say, it's very good, engaging, but, just throwing some nonsense out there, coming from me. I saw that guy who got elbowed or hit at the Trump rally. I'm just saying, I know that couldn't have been me. Okay, because I would have went to jail that night. I would have went to jail that night.
Notice he's the only one that's had violent instances that's truly happened at the rallies. Have you guys noticed that?
Of course. And it's all for the show. It's all for the show, and he's stirring it up so that he gets.
It's the energy.
It's that energy.
Let me tell you something.
He's like a Jerry Springer political candidate. He's been a Jerry Springer candidate.
Let me show you how what Sonny is saying is so true. Let me tell you why. Because when we left Bernie Sanders, the reason why we didn't hear the last little bit of, they ended the speech and we were gone. We were literally running out because it was over 2,000 people. Right? So when we left, we were part of the media to come 1 hour and leave. Everybody ran out. They only had one exit, so it was illy planned for the exit strategy. So we ended up, so we ran out before most people got out. We ran out, we got stuck. Now, in getting stuck, you do know you have the crazy, angry driver. So people didn't want you to get in front of them, and it was just crazy. And it was, instead of a single line, it was triple lines trying to get out of one space. So this one young guy was driving so fast in a tight space, like there wasn't even a elbow room between he and the car, and he just pressed down really fast and almost hit the guy. So I kept saying, we just need to back all the way up because he's going to hit that car. And lo and behold, he hit the man's car. This big dude jumped out of the car, and we were like, oh, God, please don't let it be gunfight. Don't, because we're literally almost beside the car, but he was like 2 cars in front of us. The guy jumped on and said, look, dude, I have a stick shift. My car backs up sometimes when I'm, getting ready to go forward. So you're going to have to stop driving so close to me. He said, gave me a love tap. I don't have any damages on the back of my car, but dude, chill out. Now, if that had been a Trump rally, because of the energy, because of the hatred and the pumped up, angered energy, that would have been a shootout because everybody was carrying guns probably at the rally anyway.
Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did.
What were the color of the men? What were their color?
They were 2 white guys. Oh. 2 white guys. And the guy who jumped out of the front had 4 people in the car. So
you're telling me you... Go ahead. Go ahead, Sonny.
No, that was Jazzie.
No, go ahead, Linda. Okay. What were you saying?
Well, let's go to a quick commercial break. I think we need to hit a quick commercial break.
We'll finish
right on.
Okay.
Back.
All right, Lance, we're going to get you to design something for Hillary.
Yeah, when they come back on. Yeah, that's fabulous. Yeah, if I would be so honored, I would love to design something for Hillary.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network. Hi, my name is Carolyn McKenzie. I'm founder and president of Mental Health in the African American Community. Suicide claims about 40,000 lives every year in the United States. Traditionally, African Americans have felt that suicide wasn't as much of a problem as it is in other communities. However, a pattern has emerged among African Americans that could contradict reports of low suicide rates among blacks. Mental Health in the African American Community is a national nonprofit organization based in Stockbridge, Georgia. I started this agency because my niece had a mental breakdown and stabbed me and killed herself. We are doing something. Every Monday night we have an open discussion called Let's Talk About It. Please come check us out at 125 Eagles Landing Parkway, Suite 121B in Stockbridge, Georgia. For more information, call 770-873-4496. That's 770-873-4496. Or visit our website, mhiaac.org, mhiaac.org. Are you ready for the best pizza, wings, subs, salads, desserts, and more? Stop by Pizza Day at 5248 North Henry Boulevard in Stockbridge, Georgia, open 7 days a week. Contact us for your daily lunch and dinner specials. You can like us on Facebook at It's a Pizza Day. Also, make sure you visit our website at itsapizzaday.com and order online. Delivery is also available, and if you haven't heard, let them know that you heard this on Loudmouth Radio. You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Awesome. We're back from our commercial break, and we're live on loudmouthradio.com. and we want to continue this great conversation. What I want to do is play a little bit of some interviews that we had an opportunity to gather and get in regards to yesterday's rallies. We had a few people we had at Bernie Sanders as well as Hillary Clinton. We have quite a bit of audio, but I'm going to just play a couple of interviews that some people kind of gave their viewpoint on the political race and the rally of the day and what they foresee happening this political season. So let's hear a little bit that now.
Tampa, Florida Fairgrounds, right in North Tampa. We had an opportunity. It's been a long day for us on Loudmouth Radio. We're here at the Bernie Sanders rally. Had an opportunity to stop and see some of the people that are here today. And I have Alex and Megan, and they're very excited about being here. So I wanted to see, just from some of our younger voters and supporters of these actual political figures at this time in the race, how does it feel to be here at this time and be a part of history?
This is actually the first election that I've partaken in, actually showing up to rallies and donating, so it's pretty cool for me.
Awesome. So for you, I'm assuming you're a Bernie supporter. Are you also a Democratic supporter?
No, I'm actually a socialist and a Marxist, so I would not call myself a Democrat.
Okay, awesome, but you are a Bernie supporter.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. Today earlier we covered the Hillary Clinton rally. And so we asked a few people, were you Hillary Clinton supporters as well as Democratic supporters? And they was like, yeah. I was like, no, not necessarily. You know, sometimes you may support the political figure that's running, but you may not be in the same, political class in which you have the same exact viewpoint as that candidate. So, Alex, for you, what would you like to see happen with this election this year?
I'd like to see changes in how the election process happens, eliminating the super PACs, changing campaign funding. I'd like to see it split from a two-party system because I think the two-party system doesn't work. I also think capitalism is outdated, but I think that goes with saying that I'm a Marxist. So yeah, I've got some big dreams for this election.
I love it. We actually have a show called Fantastic Fridays on Loudmouth Radio. We actually broadcast live at 11 a.m.
So, guys, that was a young lady that we met at the fairgrounds during Bernie Sanders' rally yesterday. And I know the feedback was a little choppy because it was extremely loud in the arena. We were in the expo hall. But Alex, very young. Sterling, Linda, you guys heard this young lady here. What are your views on what she had to say?
Well,
can you give a breakdown of what she said?
Yeah, I couldn't hear that. We couldn't hear very clear. And just to give a disclaimer or an apologetic disclaimer, a lot of our information needed to be downloaded, and we are here in Tampa, and we don't have our main switchboard. So some of our equipment we had to leave back, so we were not able to download that actually into the system. So you're hearing it from our recorder into the mic, and so it's a lot of background and a lot
feedback.
Of noise. So we do apologize. Yeah, so we apologize for that. But the reason why we wanted to put that on is so that you know we were actually interviewing people, and it's not just us
and everybody was really. I mean, this is like what we were saying about the difference too, is that where the energy at yesterday's rallies was very positive for both candidates. It was, I mean, people that were there to see Bernie were excited. They loved Bernie. They were friendly. Everything was, there was an excitement in the air. When you were there also with Hillary during the daytime, like you said, Jazzie, that people wanted to be there. They made a point to be there. And we had, I met Sam and his daughter next to me, and you were talking to people everywhere. We got to wave, like I said, to, some of the establishment people that I knew in the crowd. I mean, Anna Cruz was there. I mean, it was enjoyable. I mean, I had a good time yesterday. For as long a day as it was an enjoyable experience.
Mm-hmm. It really was. And you know what? We interviewed several, like we said, we interviewed, and Sonny, producer Sonny said she's going to upload that because we promised a lot of people that, they were going to be on the show. So if they should ever archive it
and or listen. We definitely want to put it in on our show so that people can hear what people on the street are thinking and what they're saying about the candidates that are running for the highest office, and not only the highest office of presidency, but also don't forget your local levels. You've got to remember that it's the local levels that gives the support to the higher authority of presidency. Well, but nevertheless, we met a lady. Wait. Let me say this because this was so important. We met a lady. What was her name? Sandy, the one that was from Europe. Do you remember her name?
Bridget.
Anyway, Bridget. We met Miss Bridget, and Miss Bridget said she's from Cambridge, and so she said she met her husband, who's American. They decided to move here to America versus he moved to Europe. She moved here, and she said one of her deciding factors for coming to this country and not, her husband moving there was so that she would have an impact in what went on in the country and that she could vote. I almost cried. Like, it touched me. I thought I was at, a Mahalia Jackson, Martin Luther King moment. It was that powerful for me to know that here is someone that is not even from this country that understands the power of the vote and wanting to be involved in what goes on in my community and what goes on in my nation. I was ecstatic because that's the way I believe, but I was also embarrassed as a born here American, because now she's a citizen here in America, but as a born here American, to hear people say, in the vote, my vote doesn't matter, I'm not going to the rally, I'm not going to canvass, I'm not going to help anything or anybody in the community, yet I'm going to sit back and I'm going to talk about everything that's wrong and what shoulda, coulda, woulda. So I thought she was probably one of my most impactful interviews of the day. And that doesn't mean that everybody else didn't have an impact. I just thought, wow, here's somebody that's not even born here that understands the power of what all of these other interviewees are saying and how important it is for us to care. So that's my little tip right there. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, Lance, with you, I know that you've been our special correspondent today. We really appreciate you spending time with you yesterday, having an opportunity to talk in regards to the scope of things.
Girl.
Yes.
I had a fabulous time, but Lord, my feet was hurting, child. I had to take off my shoes.
Oh my God!
Lance came out his shoes.
We had to vacate the premises.
Miss Hillary, I love you, girl. You're the only diva that brought me out of my shoes.
Wait a minute.
Ladies, what do you think about Lance designing something for Hillary?
Hillary? Yeah, I think you should definitely design something. I wonder what she wears. That would be interesting.
I would be honored if she called Hillary. Call me.
No, let's make something and say it.
No, you're gonna make something and send it to her like Jason Wu does to Michelle Obama. That's how he got going.
That's how he got going, Lance. That's
you know what? I could take a hint.
Wait a minute, Lance.
I got my scissors out now.
Yeah, we didn't talk about. We did not talk about Bernie Sanders' fashion. He is the most frumpiest man to be run. I need somebody to come on with the GQ brother.
Okay.
Yes, I love him. I do like Bernie Sanders, but I am a firm believer. Even if it's 2 suits, baby, you need to change up a tie every time. I cannot see you in that same blue jacket, light blue shirt, and the same tie at another
conference. He just looks dusty.
But you've got to realize that Bernie Sanders is like, my grandfather was impeccable. Now, before I talk about grandpaps, because my grandfather was not. My grandfather was not like that. But anyway, I know and he reminds me of a big.
Because he's so frumpily dressed. I mean, so I truly understand why he always get up there.
He is not concerned about his hair. He's not concerned about his hair, where they've criticized his hair. This is a man that does public service, and it's like a nice, he is 70-some years old, 73 years old.
Santa Claus do public service too, but you don't see him looking frumpy in the hot.
Santa Claus, Santa Claus.
Look, that man has a PR problem. Okay, put a toupee on. Get a nice blazer. Okay.
Nobody's taking the time.
I don't think Bernie. I think Bernie is just the way he is because he don't care. That man doesn't care. But he just wants to get the issues done. He wants to.
Wonderful. That's wonderful, but he is in a public position.
Fashion is a reflection of the time. So if you're going to tell me he just doesn't care, so now you're telling us that as a representative of the United States, you're just not going to care. So what else are you not going to care about because you don't think that it matters? It matters.
How many of you guys had the how many of you all had the absent-minded professor at school or college that just came in? That just came in. Okay, all right. That's how I look at Bernie. That's all I'm saying. I agree with Nick. You are running for the highest office in the land.
Let me just say, we are seduced. We're seduced by the physical branding of Trumps and Hillary's, and the more impressions you get, the more seduction there is, and that's why they're branded and they're the top of the.
Oh, no, this thing. Okay, first of all, I have plenty to say about the, Lord help me say it right, Mr. Trump and his little piglet hairdo. Oh, no.
No, I know, I hate
First
it.
of all, the cheap suits. First of all, you need to get it right. If you're going to dress, yes, it's nice to show a boardroom appropriate, but you know what? Ugly on the inside is ugly on the outside, and you can tell.
Yep.
Yeah. That man is ugly. I don't care what even if he is Seville Row dressed, but
I totally agree.
My Lord, we're wound up like that. I knew we were going to be lively today.
His hair looks like an amoeba that can walk off his head and have a life. I mean, his hair, it's like something you have to kill. Trump.
You look like a llama. I can give.
She look like a llama.
Both these guys a pass.
It's
on their hair, and I can give both of the guys a pass on the hair.
His hair has eyes and legs. It is a scary looking thing. Trump.
It is. But you know what? I can give Trump a pass on his hair. I can give Bernie a pass on his hair. Do you know why? And I'm a 30-year licensed hairstylist, 30 plus. So this is what I say. That's their brand. That's their silliness. That's their Phyllis Diller. President or no president, if you're going to be wild-haired for the men, okay, it's your talk to. It's your, oh, God, I can't believe the ugly toupee. I can't believe the wiry Einstein hair. I can give you that because both of you all are in that space. What I cannot give you is how you dress. I can't give you that. You know why? Because no matter if Donald Trump is doing the $1 billion and Bernie Sanders is doing the $300,000 home, go and get 2 tailor-made suits. Just do that. Get you
look. That's all I'm trying to say.
Get 2 tailor-made suits. You're frumpy and you're running for the highest office where you have to go represent me in another country.
Look,
no, ma'am. I'm sorry.
It's like this. Okay, it's like this. You go into your doctor's office, right? And, you know, you got to go get your checkup or you want to get some news, whether it's good news or bad news. And so what comes in the office, that's going to let you know that you got to have an operation, right? And so here comes Bernie Sanders. He come in, and his lab coat all dirty. His tie all disheveled. He looked like he made me even look like, you know, ooh, wait a minute.
Hallelujah.
That smell. And he's talking about, oh, don't worry. The operation's going to go well. Oh, don't worry. Oh, yes. He's like, oh, really? Okay, so then watch this. It walks Miss Cuteness. Okay, this is Hillary Clinton, right? She is casket sharp, right? Okay, she looking prim and proper. Hair is coiffed. Okay, so which one do you think is going to be performing your operation? Enough said. Thank you. Mic
or
drop.
Who would you want to? Yes. It's
okay. Mic drop. Thank you.
It did.
But this is where I say, though, that's what, okay, since John Kennedy, John F.K., basically since he got the election away from Richard Nixon in one of the first debates that was ever televised, because Richard Nixon basically looked like he had a shadow. Now, wait, let me finish. Now, what happened has that we have gone to you have to portray yourself on the television. That does not mean that we're getting the best candidate. That's all I want you to say. We may be getting the most photogenic. We may be getting the best dressed. We may be getting the person that has the best haircut, that has the prettiest teeth, and the best stylist, and the best marketing team behind them. But that does not mean that we are getting the best candidate. We're only getting the candidate. Wait a minute. We're only getting. I'm going to give you. We're only getting the candidate that was the best sold to us, and that gives the best image. And I'm not saying that I don't want my president to step in front of the Italian president that will come out in probably, he has, Prada. He has Dolce & Gabbana, all of the different Italian designers dressing him. I would like my president to look good too, but that does not mean that is the best president just because they look good.
Actually,
it doesn't.
I disagree with that for one reason. If you are an achiever, let alone an overachiever, you are not going to leave strings untied.
Tell it, man.
And let me tell you something. Your image, well, sister, son,
yes.
If you are gonna dress your best, that means you're gonna
you get an applause for that, honey.
The
you get an applause.
Not just your best, but you're gonna do all the rest. Okay, so you're not gonna come out. If you're gonna make an A, it's gonna be an A all day. Okay, if the gloves don't fit, you must have quit. Okay.
No, you know what? No, seriously, I think by the time you say I am running for office, okay, of any office, I am running for leadership. I am asking for the people to believe in me and allow me to represent you as a nation. I do not care if you don't have a $2.50. Sweetie, let me tell you, the thrift store has certain days where you can buy it for half off. You best go and find
I know that. I love to go there.
So find you a vintage jacket, go find a great tailor, and put
all the people on radio go to thrift stores. All the people on television go to department stores.
That's right. And honey, we get products for $2.50.
Because nobody can see us. We just have loud mouths. We just have loud mouths. That's all we need.
That's it. But you know what? No, I just think that I want to believe.
My mouth up now. Show me some Hugo Boss from Goodwill Girl. Hugo Boss is in Goodwill Girl. Really go. Shut my mouth up.
Okay.
Well, Lance, thank you, honey.
Look, I am being served, girl. I'm being served right now. Y'all pray for me. Lord, I'm Versace, girl. Somebody just put Versace in front of me, girl. Girl, shut your mouth.
Can I say this? Lance, thank you so much for giving us a fashion perspective, because sometimes I really think
and Lance knows I know how to shop.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, Lance knows that I know how to shop. So, honey, don't go picking. Remember, I had enough trouble on my TV talk show because I got in trouble because I would be, instead of backing my advertiser, I would be sending people to $5 Wednesday at the Salvation Army.
I'm gonna need you to do better.
Well, we're gonna be doing that on here for our
fashion
advertisers. Please, I'm putting the word out to our fashion advertisers that this is the new hot spot to come and bring their business. So we're gonna be directing them to them. I just want to put that editorial comment.
Oh, I directed them.
Yes.
I think that you got to do a mix of both. You definitely, I don't think there's a matter, and we'll get back to the presidents in a minute, the election, but I don't think there's anything a matter with being smart with your money when you're shopping for clothes today.
I wasn't saying that shopping at the Goodwill when you're running for president isn't smart. All I'm saying is, listen, if you have a track record of success, okay, all the I's will more than likely be dotted or about to be dotted. The T's will be crossed. And one of those dotted I's and crossed T's is going to be how you present your image. Because let me tell you something. If it's the difference between a frumpy image and a put-together image, which image will bring you closer to your goal? And look, let me tell you something.
You have to have a complete package.
Wrong. Every time you see a president, CEO, chairman of the board, are they in frumpy or are they what? Tight and right?
That's it. And they only go frumpy after they have had it tight and right. Once you get
listen,
if you decide
Obama can let his tie, down. He can roll up his sleeves and he could come out there after, battling, Putin all night and come out in front of the American audience and say, hey, I did it. Okay, look, we made it happen. He doesn't talk to Congress, and they've been hammering on the budget, and they get up in front of it. As a matter of fact, it makes them look like, yeah, we got some work done. They might have just kiki and caca all night, but they get up and they roll up their sleeves and look like they, but at least, that unkept image made them look like they was working all night. So I understand that it's a time to serve that hot image.
It's a time
so now is the time of running for president that you need to serve the image of tight and right. I'm sorry.
I agree. I totally agree.
The phrase for today is lawn party cuteness. Thank you.
I love that, lawn party cuteness.
Well, I just want everybody to know Bernie had a new suit on the last debate. A new suit.
Oh, wow.
He did.
Oh, wow.
He did. And everybody commented on the media. Everybody noticed.
That's the same thing.
Because his last suit jacket had dandruff all over it. I mean, it was just, it looked dusty. It looked dusty.
He does. He looks dusty.
Yeah, he looks dusty. But his spirit and soul's in the right place, honey.
He's such a sweetheart, but I need somebody to be his friend.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Bernie, I need to be your friend. Mr. Man, you are my elder, and I appreciate
it really goes down that his handlers, because we all know that he has, unless he really doesn't. I mean, unless he is just that simple a man, that if he doesn't have a stylist and a handler helping him, then it just shows you what a grassroots campaign this man is running.
It's totally that.
I think that we have to really realize this man just may be that simplistic in his life that it's really, like I said yesterday, this is like having your grandpap running for president.
For my grandfather, that's a good analogy, but if that's my grandfather and I am 20, yet. But it's not about him being sophisticated. If you are my grandfather, I am 20, 30 years old, I'm going to say, grandfather, come in, let me holler at you.
Exactly.
You are representing entire circles and running for president. You cannot wear this. We have had, like Eddie, who won the ticket, took care of his grandfather until he passed, God rest his soul, for years. He wouldn't. His grandfather gets honorary. I'm putting this on. No, boo. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to wear that.
But it's an evolution. It's an evolution. They make more money. They get more conscious as they move along. But he's not television ready, like Trump or like Hillary. He's not at all. He will be, though. He'll become that.
Let me tell you, let me break in here and just, because I know we're going to run out of time, and I have to tell you that this next it's a short one, but in the life of Pay, fits right into this conversation. Hi, patient. She's in school. She's in class, so I did not want to pull her out of class so that she could come on the show today. But let me just tell you how fabulous fashionista Miss 16-year-old Patience is. So she goes out. You know her birthday. Everybody on the radio knows that her birthday is coming up because I've told you. And if you don't know, please go back and archive our shows on loudmouthradio.com, and that's with 2 Ds because we have archivable shows. However, her birthday is coming up. She's turning a terrific 17, and she is 16, 17, definitely ready. But some of her thought process is just kind of, it just exceeds space and time. She's out looking for a Betsy Johnson bag because she's fabulous, and we love that kind of stuff. So she calls us, and she's so devastated, Sterling, that she did not get to come to Tampa and meet you. She is just like, but auntie,
oh my God,
I'm supposed to meet Sterling. I can't believe you're leaving, and we can just call my school and my job and tell them it's an emergency because I have to go meet Sterling.
Jazzie, so look, after we told her we were coming, this is how I sounded.
It's so true. It's so true. She lost her mind. She got so silent. She was standing in the window of the house with the curtain and the dog. She and Zoe Mandela are looking out the window like, don't leave me, but don't leave me. So she says, okay, auntie, I can't go. But she was out after she got out of school, and she said, I'm in the store, and I found some Betsy Johnson bags, auntie. And ironically, she called me. I had an hour break while we've been here, and I went to the store and was looking for Betsy Johnson bags because she wants a specific one. So she said, I'm looking at Betsy Johnson bags. I said, oh, my God, so am I. So we're cross-referencing the bags that we found. And she says, auntie, I found this cupcake Betsy Johnson bag. And any of you that know designer Betsy Johnson, she makes the most fun bags and shoes with flowers and bows and telephones and pieces. So I'm thinking that she actually found a bag shaped like a cupcake. So I said, well, I found the black and white one. I'll send it to you, and you send me your bag. So she sends me a bag that's kind of this pink and brown. And she was just talking about the bag reminded her of a cupcake because of the color. So I'm cracking up laughing, like only Pay would say a cupcake bag is a cupcake bag and not actually. Anyway, I said, well, that's not the bag that you want. You really want to get that telephone bag, so why don't you kind of save your money and we'll find the bag and we'll get it. So she says, well, okay, so I'll just look around. So she calls me late. What time? Maybe about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. She's getting ready for bed. And she says, hey, auntie, what are you doing? And I said, we're getting ready for the Hillary Clinton campaign and Bernie Sanders campaign tomorrow. And I said, well, what are you doing? She said, I'm dancing around the house in my new underwear. I thought I was going to die. I said, you're doing what? She said, I'm dancing in my new underwear. She said, they actually are psychedelic, and they was they the Ninja Turtle underwear. That baby is dancing around the house, having a whole, mind you, Patience is tiny. She's very, very little, and she has legs like a grasshopper, and she's dancing all around because she feels fabulous in her new lingerie. So if a 16-year-old can care about what goes on underneath, much less on top, so can Bernie Sanders. That's all I'm saying. In the life of Pay.
Yeah. So he don't. So in other words, he's not casket sharp. He just looking like casket. Just saying. Just saying. But guys, look, we're right at the point of where we're summing up.
Yeah.
Right. He's the one doing the embalming. But no, okay, we're not trashing Bernie. We gotta have love. But guys, we're at the point in which we're going to say our goodbyes. This has been an amazing show today. Lance, our special correspondent from Miami, has come in and gave the fashion on Loudmouth Radio today. We have really enjoyed the opportunity. Linda, thank you for calling. Look, we've had Linda a couple weeks in a row.
You're welcome.
Our other listeners have been listening to us.
Love you, Linda.
You're welcome, Diva.
Right.
So, guys,
love you too, Lance.
Yes, thank you, guys. So, all our listeners, that have been on air with us. Feel free to join us and connect with us next week as we go into Fantastic Fridays at 11 a.m. And we always want to ask for your feedback. So go to our website at loudmouthradio.com and go to our contact page. Let us know what you think about the show, anything that you'd like to speak on. We invite you to come on and call in and give us your viewpoint. For all those across the day, thank you so much. Yes. You can do it right. You can do it right from the website.
Right.
Yes. So go to the website, Loudmouth Radio with 2 Ds. Guys, thank you so much. We are live, and now we're off air for the rest of the day. But if you're just hearing this show, feel free to listen to our playback 24/7 on demand. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.